Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTBase.com. Welcome to our weekly COT review. Today we're going to be looking at the 29th Commitments of Traders report of this year. And as we always do, we will be looking at the largest changes in commercials positions first. Here we have the platinum on top of our list with an 18% change in commercials positions. You can see that change size over there, 20% in large speculators. It's larger than average, but nothing too unusual. You can see some similar changes in the past 52 weeks. Of course, it is a bearish change signal suggesting that after this rally the past roughly 1.5 weeks, we could see some movement downwards. Jumping to a 5-year chart, you can see that we are more or less in between the two extremes, maybe a little bit closer to bullish extreme levels. So there's not too much to talk about here in platinum right now. Moving on to silver, here we have a 15% change in commercials positions, 14 in large speculators and 17 in small speculators. Again, we are talking about larger than average change sizes, but nothing too unusual. Of course, in this case, we have a more dynamic rally in the market. So we should not be surprised if we would see a little bit of rebound from the market. At least the report is suggesting that could easily happen early next week. If we move on to the 5-year chart, you can see that we had that relatively large bullish COT extreme back in May. Since then, we have moved away from those extreme levels, getting closer towards bearish extremes, although you can see on this 5-year chart that those levels are still pretty much pretty far away right now. In case of commercials, that would mean roughly another 70,000 contracts on the short side, and of course large speculators roughly the same amount, 60,000 contracts extra net long to reach those all-time or close to all-time bearish COT extreme. So there's still some space left. This trend could continue on for the next couple of weeks or even month. So we should be watching out and checking the COT reports week by week. The next market is sugar, where we have again a 15% change, but in this case just the opposite direction. It is a bullish COT change signal, but you may see on the chart that although it's on the list, in case of sugar market, we do see these changes quite often. It's nothing too unusual. So let's just move over to the 5-year chart and see how extreme this market is. And you can see that we're still in this this range since 2017, the middle of 2017. We are at these bullish COT extreme levels. So nothing much has been happening in the sugar market the past 1.5 or actually 2 years time. The next will be analyzing the largest changes in the largest extremes in large speculators. And well, we have the Canadian dollar on top with a 68 report extreme, nothing too unusual. Here they are. You can see that they've been at much greater extremes in the past. You can see an example from October of 2017. This was a bearish COT extreme situation. It has been going on for quite some time, and you can see it was a successful signal in the market. We are getting closer to these bearish extreme levels, but of course we could see some further rally happening in the Canadian dollar in the next couple of weeks. Corn is our next market with a 57 report extreme in large speculators, but hey, you can see in commercials a 421 report extreme. So pretty significant extreme in corn. It is a bearish COT extreme signal, of course, suggesting that we could see lower prices coming in the corn market. You can see the last time we had bearish extreme for a few weeks, month, was back in 2018. You can see that was a successful signal. Then we had a little bit shorter lived extreme back from June of 2016, but a very successful signal nevertheless. And then there's one from July of 2015. So maybe the fact that these bearish extremes happen during the summer, and we are in the summer right now, combined with the extreme, this could actually signal us some interesting things happening in corn in the next couple of weeks or month. We're going to jump over the true US dollar index. That's for our members, but the British pound produced a 42 report extreme in large speculators. You can see that over there. if of course, if we open these charts, you can see that it is actually a bullish COT Extreme case for the British pound, suggesting that we should be seeing a bottom developing in the next couple of weeks, month, and we could see some higher prices coming in the medium to long term. So that was our last market for this review. But hey, don't forget, you can check out all our markets at cotbase.com, and of course, a more in-depth and detailed COT analysis can be done simply by looking at multiple report changes. You can look at the COT index, the COT move index. You can do a long-term trend analysis. Check out the volume and open interest scores of COT Base. So a lot of great tools at COT Base, and I hope you will give it a chance and check it out. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed the review, and I hope to see you next week. Have a great weekend. Take care. Goodbye.